Philippines ambassador sends message to Alexandra Eala after her run in Dubai. Alexandra Eala's incredible rise up the WTA Tour rankings has earned her thousands of new tennis fans. Eala's Dubai run was ended by Coco Gauff, but she picked up impressive victories against Hailey Baptiste and Jasmine Paolini. The star has proven to be one of the star attractions of the sport over the last few months, with thousands of fans flocking to see her in Melbourne, Abu Dhabi, and Manila. After her incredible run of performances in 2026, she has received high praise from the Philippines ambassador. Alexandra Eala called an inspiration after her run in Dubai. Speaking to Gulf Today, the Philippines ambassador, Alfonso Ver, has heaped praise on the 20-year-old star. "We are immensely proud of Alex Eala and her incredible string of victories here in the UAE," he said after her quarterfinal appearance. "Her grit, humility, and passion have captured the heart and admiration of every Filipino. These wins are not just for her, but the entire Filipino nation, and an inspiration that with dedication and faith, the Filipino spirit can shine anywhere in the world." Eala will next play Indian Wells for the first time in her career, and she will be seeded at the WTA 1000 tournament. The 20-year-old will then head to the Miami Open, which was the scene of her breakout tournament in 2025. The star picked up victories against Iga Swiatek, Madison Keys, and Yelena Ostapenko before her run was ended by Jessica Pegula. Alexandra Eala told she is exactly what tennis needs. Eala is garnering praise from every corner as she sits on the cusp of the top 20 of the WTA Tour rankings for the first time. Speaking on the Inside in Tennis podcast, former tennis professional and broadcaster Nico Pereira explained why he is such a huge fan of Eala. "This is exactly what tennis needs. Bring it on, and for her, she travels within plays as a local every week. Why not, Good on her. I think that's just going to bring more people into tennis, particularly the women's game, and I'm excited for them and for her in particular. A lot of pressure with that comes with that. She handles it well." Eala currently holds a 9-6 win-loss record after her first tournaments of the season. The humid air of Dubai still carried the echo of applause when the message began its quiet journey across continents. It traveled from the desert skyline of the United Arab Emirates to the sun-warmed shores of the Philippines, then back again, this time in words. Not the roar of a stadium, not the crack of a tennis ball meeting strings, but something softer. Something enduring. It was a message from the Philippine ambassador. And it was meant for Alexandra Eala. Alexandra's run in Dubai had been more than a series of matches. It had been a story unfolding under floodlights, beneath a sky that seemed to shimmer with possibility. Each serve she launched into the night carried with it the dreams of a nation more familiar with basketball courts and boxing rings than tennis courts. But on those polished hard courts, she stood unafraid. Her footwork was quicksilver. Her backhand, precise, disciplined, unyielding. When she stepped onto the court at the prestigious Dubai Tennis Championships, she did not carry the weight of expectation as a burden. She wore it like armor. Across the net were players seasoned by years of tour life. Opponents who had seen grand arenas and lifted trophies. Yet Alexandra, young but battle-hardened from international junior circuits and relentless training abroad, refused to be reduced to a footnote in someone else's highlight reel. Every rally told a story. There were moments when the ball skimmed the net and fell just inside the line, gasps rising like sudden wind. There were break points saved with daring angles that kissed the corners of the court. And there were setbacks too, because every ascent has its gravity. But she never folded. She recalibrated. In Manila, televisions flickered late into the night. In Cebu and Davao, in homes small and sprawling alike, Filipinos watched with clenched fists and hopeful hearts. Social media buzzed. Group chats exploded. A new kind of sporting pride was blooming. And in the Philippine embassy in the UAE, the ambassador watched as well. Diplomacy is often described as the art of measured words. Carefully chosen phrases. Strategic silence. But sometimes history invites sincerity. Sometimes it asks for pride unfiltered. After Alexandra's remarkable run, after she had fought with courage against higher-ranked opponents and shown the world that Philippine tennis belonged on the grand stage, the ambassador drafted a message. It did not begin with statistics. It did not list rankings or percentages of first serves won. Instead, it began with gratitude. On behalf of the Filipino people, it read, "We thank you." The message spoke of more than forehands and scorelines. It spoke of representation, of how seeing a Filipina athlete stand tall in Dubai, poised, composed, fiercely competitive, reshaped perceptions. Not only of Philippine tennis, but of Filipino excellence. It acknowledged the sacrifices invisible to spectators, the early mornings, the missed holidays, the ache of training sessions repeated until muscle memory replaced doubt. It recognized the courage required to leave home at a young age in pursuit of mastery. And it honored her as a symbol, not of perfection, but of perseverance. In that message, the ambassador wrote about the Filipino spirit, the quiet resilience that has weathered typhoons and trials, the warmth that endures even in foreign lands. In Alexandra's calm between points, in the determined set of her jaw during tiebreaks, the ambassador saw that same spirit refracted through sport. He wrote, "You have reminded us that our dreams need not be limited by geography, that even from an archipelago of more than 7,000 islands, one can stand at the center of the world stage." The words were shared publicly, and they traveled quickly. Students at local tennis academies screenshot the message. Coaches printed it and pinned it to bulletin boards. Parents read it aloud to children who had just begun learning how to hold a racket. In Dubai, Alexandra received the message between practice sessions. The tournament was over, but the journey was not. She read it quietly. No cameras. No applause. Just the steady hum of air conditioning in a hotel room high above Sheikh Zayed Road. For a moment, the desert outside seemed less vast. She had always understood that she played for something larger than herself. Every flag patch stitched onto her apparel was a reminder. But the ambassador's words crystallized that understanding into something tangible. Nations are often defined by borders, by policy, by economics. But sometimes they are defined by moments. A young athlete chasing down a drop shot under the lights of Dubai. A backhand down the line that defies expectation. A handshake at the net, win or lose, offered with grace. The ambassador's message did not declare her arrival as the finished product of greatness. It celebrated her as a work in progress. It recognized that this run in Dubai was not a peak, but a promise. "You are not only building a career," the message continued. "You are building belief. Belief in tennis courts that might be constructed in barangays that once had none. Belief in girls who dare to choose rackets over stereotypes. Belief that Filipino athletes can thrive beyond traditional arenas. And perhaps most importantly, belief in possibility."